it's Holly here from Your Past is a Gift. Okay, so today, the main thing I wanted to talk about today that I think is so important for us to discuss is that with these videos, I'm trying to give you tools. I'm trying to build your skills on how to resolve the things that have happened to you in the past. I'm trying to help you sift through all the dirt, because what's happened is there have been events that you've buried, and so you've piled all this dirt on top of it, all these experiences, because you don't want to remember them. But now, because you're stuck in this present time and you can't move forward in certain areas of your life, you actually have to get that shovel and dig all of that dirt off and start to look at the actual experience for what it was. Because with each event, we interpret certain things, but it may not necessarily be the truth. So once you start creating all these lies within your head about who you are because of what's happened, you need to go back to that moment and look at those lies that you've created about yourself. Now, my main purpose with this video today, I wanted to talk to you because I want to give you the tools to set yourself free. I don't want you to have to rely on me forever, rely on that next video, because that next video will have the magical message. Each message is important, and I want you to sit with it, and I want you to really think about them. Think about your life. This is what I'm pointing always at you, looking at your life. And so today, what I invite you is to take all these tools that I'm giving you of how to resolve your past, and slowly, patiently go through bit by bit by bit, work through it. But you need to do the work. You need to do it. And the aim of these videos is that there might be one thing that I say to you that might trigger your understanding of what's happened to you. And if I can do that, then miracles will happen in your life. Everything will be shifted. You will feel a total load off, because that's how I felt. The process really is to sit down, okay, grab a notebook, grab a journal, whatever it is you want to call it, grab paper, grab a pen, because there's power in writing with a pen. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like as you're doing it, it releases everything out. It just expresses it. So grab a paper and a pen. Doesn't matter what the color of the pen is. Some people say use blue, so use black. It doesn't matter. Just grab a pen, any pen. And then what I want you to do is to write the things that you can remember in your life. Start writing your memories. And then with each memory, okay, so say you remembered one. I fell off a swing and I broke my arm. Example, okay? It didn't happen to me, but it's just an example. Now, around that event, there will be many things that happened. So the event was, I fell off the swing, I broke my arm, right? You probably ended up in hospital. You probably had to have a cast put on, all the things that come with breaking your arm. These are just the events. And that's what I want you to write down first. Exactly what happened, without any judgment on it, without any feelings or emotions, just what happened, okay? Then secondly, I want you to look at how that affected you. What came out of that event? Now I'm going to give you an example from my life, just so you've got an understanding of how it works. When I was little, I used to have a lot of problems with my teeth, okay? That was probably just from not knowing how to brush them properly. I don't ever remember having someone, my dad brushed with me, but I don't think they ever showed me how to do it properly. Anyway, beside the point. So I ended up at the dentist a lot, and I used to, at the time, I think I was 9 when I had my very first filling. Now with that comes the very first needle that I've ever had in my gums. And as a 9-year-old, that to me was just terrifying. Just the whole pain of it. I just remember to this day how awful it felt physically. But at the same time, I was terrified. And what I recall from that event was that my dad came in with me and he held my hand. And before we'd gone in, we'd heard a lot of children, because I had to wait outside. And I think we were the third ones waiting. And before that, there were 2 others, and they screamed their heads off. You know, these kids were screaming the whole way through, you know, their procedure. Anyway, it was my turn. Of course, I'm sitting there, my eyes are popping out of my face. And I'm thinking, I really don't want to go in there. But my mouth was sore, so I had to do something, you know, to fix it. So we went in, and I remember my dad holding my hand, and he said to me, if you yell or if you cry or if you make any fuss, I will walk out and I will leave you in here with the dentist. Now, I'd only seen the dentist maybe twice before that. So this man was a stranger to me. I did not want to be left in this room with someone I did not know. And so I did everything I possibly could to not scream, to not yelp, to not, you know, express, you know, any emotion at the time. I just stood, you know, I sat there frozen. And I thought, okay, as long as I stay like that. Now, I crushed his hand because you didn't say I wasn't allowed to do that. But at the end of this event, what happened was I came out, right? And my dad said to me, what a brave little girl you are. You are such a strong little girl that you didn't cry and you didn't yell and you didn't make a fuss. Now, as a 9-year-old, my interpretation of that was that to be strong is to not show emotion. That was my interpretation at the time. And that happened for me for the most of my life. No matter what I was going through, I always felt I had to be the strong one. I wasn't allowed to show emotion. I wasn't allowed to cry if I was upset or afraid or, you know. It wasn't that I wasn't allowed, but I knew that my dad didn't approve of it because he had already told me that at that time. And so my whole life I've always thought that to be strong is to not express emotion. So that's how the interpretations come about, and that's how you resolve what you made up in your mind about certain events. So we'll go through more. There's so much more for you. That was a very simple one. But the most important thing, each time, it's not just, okay, that was the event, and that's what happened, and I felt miserable after. Okay, you're not going to get anything from that if you're looking at the events in that way. But if you can understand that from that event, this is what you learnt about the world, you know, in my case, to be strong is to not show emotion, not cry, not yell, not, you know, to be strong is to keep you cool, no matter what circumstances you're under. So that's what you need to do. You need to get to that point. Look at the event. Look at what you decided about yourself from that event. And then look at the truth of it. Okay? It's gone a bit long, but it's very important that you understand the process, because it's not just about looking at the event. If you're just going to look at it and mope about how miserable it was, you know, and that's all you're going to get out of it, or if you're just going to look at it and, you know, throw blame here, there and everywhere about the people that hurt you. So we're going to talk about that in the next one. Let's deal more with that in the next one. So otherwise it'll go too long. Okay? And it's meant to be a nice short message. So anyway, click like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the messages, because the next one may be the one that reveals your truth to you. All right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.